Hey guys. So this is being recorded and as usual, go up on YouTube tomorrow. Evening, Richard. Yeah, 8 p.m. here. So I've actually come back to the office to do this. I did go home for an hour. The joys of having another startup project is that I don't work from home. I have to work with the boys in the office. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes, start at the top of the hour and record. I know it's a funny time of the day for, just depends where you live, I suppose. Um, but maybe I'd do it a little earlier. I'm not sure. I don't think it'd still work in the UK. Sorry, USA if I did it any earlier because people are either at work or not. Maybe I do a poll, I think. It would help me because in Dubai, when the clocks change at the end of this month, the clocks don't change in the Middle East. So it's an extra hour. So it'd be 9 p.m. for me. So I might change them to something like it could be 9 a.m. EST. I suppose if traders are trading anyway, 9 a.m. EST is not bad because we'll see the open as well. Might work. We'll have to see. I'll do a poll, I think, in the Discord channel and see what people think. Especially when I'm traveling to Asia next year with the app launch. It's going to be even later. Absolutely. I mean, futures are killing it as well. We've had gold and NQ this week since it went live on the phone on the apps, and they've both been winners. Around about $6,000, and the app's going to be $50 a month. So got a picture somewhere. I'm going to start at the top of the hour. I just wanted to find the downloads. Hi Ross, how you doing? And welcome. Okay. Yeah, what I was just saying, Ross, obviously you're in the US. Midday EST is quite late for me in the day. It's 8 p.m. here. Um, I'm just wondering whether we go for a 9 a.m. type midweek market madness type thing. So it's earlier in the day for me. It'll be when the clocks change 6 p.m., which is more achievable, I think. I might even do 8 a.m. I don't know what your thoughts are. Always it's good to see some price action, especially in the second half of this session where I do the confluence. It'd be easier and more beneficial for people if we're doing um, when it markets there. Yeah, I think an 8 a.m. EST might work um, because there'll be more action. Because at this time of day, when we look at the price action, it's gone. It's quiet. Um, And so I think I might do that. Anyway, let's make a start. So what I'm going to do first is stocks Predator for half an hour. Then we'll do which is still Confluence. It's just Confluence for stocks. And then we are going to look at Confluence with futures and crypto today as well. So first I want to go through a trade. I know, Richard, you know this trade because I put it in the Stocks Predator users group. Um, I want to go through this trade because there's another one setting up just like it. And this video will be going out that I made for this in the next couple of days. But I just wanted to show you the power of Confluence. So it doesn't matter what you're trading and what time frame you're trading. So first of all, I just want to mention the Elliott Wave. So the Elliott Wave is part of the premium package for Stocks Predator. Elliott Wave measures trend. For me, I only use Elliott Wave when I'm swing trading stocks, and that's what I used to do for a living. Okay. What got me here today was making 65% a year on a very large portfolio for people for stocks. Okay. This was my bread and butter. Once technology got better, you were able to sort of develop those strategies and everything like that for day trading. But swing trading stocks is where it started for me. Okay. And this is why this has been a labor of love with me for the stocks predator, because it's extremely powerful. So for me, day trading futures is your income. Yeah. And I still do it for income. Um, but when you get excess income, you need to put that into a wealth building pot, and you need to be looking at stocks um, relatively short term, 10, 20 days, and then longer term investments as well. So you've got to build wealth. Unless you've got a lot of money trading futures, you're not going to build a huge amount of wealth. What you need to do is day trade futures, get excess cash, put it into your investment portfolio, start swing trading stocks. And that's what I've been doing probably for the last 15 years. So I've been adding that. And that's why in the book, I talk about stock swing trading and day trading, because they work well and hand in hand together. So Elliott Wave measures trends. So basically what we're looking for is trading that fifth wave move, this last move up, because the impulse move, the wave three, is the longest move. But there's always profit taking pullback. It is human nature. When you got in down here, okay, around about 46.59, all of a sudden you're at $76. You're going to take some profit, whether you're an institutional trader or a retail trader, or what they call them now, consumer traders. You are going to take profit. It's natural. But this profit taking pullback is usually low volume, and we can measure that pullback. Now, in this situation, we had quite a complex pullback here. It took more than my 7 to 10 days, which I like. I like a orderly pullback, 7 to 10 days, bounce, carry on in the direction of the trend. It stayed around for a while. So this was just on my watch list, as it were. But then the confluences came in. We had a roller coaster here on the 2nd of September. 5th of September, 5-star buy. Okay. But we only had 5 out of 6. So it wouldn't come up on the Confluence scanner um, for the stocks predator. Then we got a 6-star buy. So that momentum's going. So that directional flow of that river is increasing. Yeah. There's more tributaries feeding it closer together. So we're starting to form some rapids. That final confirmation is on this candle here, where we get 6 out of 6 on the bias depth heat map. And this is a trade I put together. So understanding the trend with Elliott Wave, brilliant. Performed very, very well. Found support in this green zone. There's a 95% probability it's going to hit this automated fifth wave target zone. And it did. Okay. But this was the trade. We got in at this point here. Okay. Around 69.63. And again, I know, Richard, you see it, but for those that are watching the recording, only so it's locked, but for the stocks predator users, there's a lot of trades going off in there. Okay. Mel does a lot of options calls on the trades that I find using the software, and that he finds and other people find. And then what we do is, for example, this one I share. This is the setup. Okay. This was the setup. This was back on the 9th of September. And we've got a journaling part of the stocks predator, set them up, share it with the guys. So I made it that day, the 9th of 9th, and that's the day I posted in the forum there. And then finally today, I've put this together on some options. So obviously there was stop loss adjust at this point here. But what I've done is put together some options now to look at how to trade this. So there's 3 options. I'm going to go through those. It's very important to understand that just because you've got a fifth wave target zone, 20% of trades, sometimes 25% actually, blow through that and continue to make new highs. Okay, so you can't stifle that momentum, but you've got to understand the behavior going into that fifth wave zone. So we got full confluence here, okay, and we're long. Look at these candles here with the manager. The manager against part of that premium package with the stocks predator. We get higher than average volume, higher than average volume, higher than average volume, higher than average volume, and then going into this particular fifth wave target zone, this candle that gapped, green candle, which means it's got more volume than the previous candle. It's higher than average volume. This thing has momentum. So don't be too quick to take profit. So the first option you've got here is it's in this fifth wave target zone. You risked $1,000 here. Your profit, you're 1 to 1.6 here. There's $1,600 profit in there right now. That's a good trade. That's a good trade. And it's been in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2 weeks. Okay, 14 days, just over 2 weeks. So that's the first option. Now, this could run, okay? It really could run. And what I did is I've looked at 2 potential sort of trade management options here. So remember, the anchor strategy for Confluence is the roller coaster, no matter what you're trading. Day trading futures, in this case, swing trading stocks. And we print the trailing stop position here. So right now, a conservative stop to give this room while we're messing around in here would be at this position. With the Elliott Wave indicator suite, we have this 6-4 moving average high, 6-4 moving average low, these 2 EMAs. An aggressive trailing stop here would be at the 6-4 moving average low. Okay, I would sort of err on the side of caution right now, because what might happen is we might pull back and then go again. So I want to give it room to do that. But if we get candles close up above this fifth wave target zone, that's when I want to be more aggressive. Okay. So the other 2 options are conservative trading stop for now, or aggressive trading stop. So 3 options: take profit, trail it. When you're trailing stocks, remember there's post and pre-market action. So you're more interested in the pre-market action. You can't leave your order on once the trading session's closed. If you step away from the computer and the market opens, it's had a lot of pre-market action and it's gapping down, you're going to kick yourself, okay? What you need to do is remove the stops pre-market, allow the market to open, allow it to form its price, then put the stop back on. It's different to day trading. Swing trading stocks, remember, every single daily candle has an open, a close, a high, and a low. But prior to that open, there is pre-market action. And what you don't want to do is find pre-market. If you've got an aggressive stop here, it's gapping down to here. Okay. What you want to do is allow that to happen, wait for it to bounce back up, take the profit, or put your stop on once it's opened to that position there. You need to be sensible when you swing trading stocks. It's not, hi Chris, how you doing? Not too bad, not too bad. It's a bit strange now because we got another new startup project with the app. I'm actually in the office at the moment, so I've moved from my home office in Dubai, and we've got an office here. All the boys have gone home, and I'm left here on my own at 8 p.m. So it's very strange. For the last 30 years, I've been working from home. So having this office thing, it's a bit weird for me. So that's what I'm looking at there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to use the scanner. and I'm going to find. I did look earlier. This is like I don't know if those in England will know what Blue Peter is. This is one I prepared earlier. So on the Confluence scanner, I want three green. I'm looking for longs. Okay. There's 19 out of 5,104 stocks that have basically indicated that there are, there's a potential there. There's good sort of confluence, if you like, to look for long trades. Now you can do them for shorts as well. Also, now with the Elliott Wave filter, I want to look for bulls. And I want to look for bulls with less than five since the wave four. So this is the wave four down here on this one. So this is new, WWD. Okay. Short interest, only 1.7%. That's really, really good. Beta above one. It's outperforming the S&P. Okay. Low dividends and it's optionable. Okay. This looks pretty good to me. Okay. So what's happened is, again, we have a trending stock. Just want to point out though, you see this previous trade here on this third wave. This was a Confluence strategy as well. The entry would have been 192, and we'd be getting out. We got out conservatively at 242. So this trade responds well to Confluence because in 2025, we've had a big Confluence move. That initial bullish move found resistance and there was some selling. It's quite a complex wave four. Don't get me wrong. So we've got an ABC correction basically. So when we look at ABC corrections, that's our wave three. We come down to these lows here. Let's change that to white and make it really big, really thick. Okay. Then we pull up here and then draw again. We come down to the wave four here. Okay. That's what we call a complex correction. So an ABC correction, if you like. So at this point, it came down to this point here, and some traders found that there was value there. So they started buying, but it ran out of juice. There were still more people that wanted to take profit. So finally, we found this sort of support here. But what I'm really interested in now is yesterday, we got the roller coaster on the 26th of September. We got the 6-star buy on the xBrat algo yesterday, and all 6 time frames were green. This B pivot here is an issue, so our entry has to be above that point, around about $255-ish. Let's go green, hashed, and let's take the weight down a little bit there. So that's our entry. Okay. Our target is obviously the 5th wave target zone. Now, we've got a couple of options here as far as stops are concerned. So this is quite a wide stop. So a stop in theory is just below the wave 4, the roller coaster stop as well. We'll turn that to red. So when we look at this risk to reward, it's about 1 to 1. Okay, so I'm going to just use a fib extension tool here. Stop, entry. Oh, look at that, 1 to 1. How do you thought I'd done this before? So let's take that off. Now, for me with swing trading stocks, that's fine. And I'll tell you why. Not only have we got Confluence here with our 3 green lights, we've got roller coaster, xBrat algo, bias depth heat map. I understand that actually the Elliott Wave has behaved as well. This was a previous really strong bullish trend. Okay. So I've got Confluence, not just with those 3 green lights. I understand that the trend has behaved extremely well and normal. Okay. We've pulled back to a really decent sort of support in this pullback zone in the green zone. I'm looking at previous confluences when we get those. that work extremely well, and quite recently as well with this big bullish move. So I'm quite happy with that 1-to-1. All I need to be aware of is this previous wave 3 pivot, which is an all-time high. So I'm just going to move this line. So because the risk reward is less than 1 to 1.6, when the price action, or if the price action, I haven't got a crystal ball, reaches this zone, I'm going to be aggressive with this trailing stop and make it risk-free. Okay. That is the caveat for the lack of fresh air. But swing trading stocks is not like day trading futures. There's enough fresh air here for me because I understand how the trend has behaved. I understand previous confluences have been very, very strong. I got another one now just after a wave 4 pullback. Okay. I want to check when earnings is again. No earnings date published just yet, so we're okay. So this WWD is something that I'm really looking for a potential trade. So my criteria for this is good. I just want to just check on the weekly, see where we are, Elliott Wave wise, and if there's any sort of zones. I know we're near the all-time highs. We've got a good channel coming up here. If I put a trend channel in here, let's have a look at this. Where are we? Parallel channel. Boing, boing, boing. Okay. So center line is more important to me than the bottom. So what I'm looking at is I'm taking this pivot here and this pivot here. I know we've got price action outside the bottom of this channel, but this center line, if I just change the color of it so we can see, and turn that to white. Whoops, no, wrong one. Okay. And let's go a little thicker. Right, so when you're drawing a trend channel, and this could be whether you're day trading or swing trading, it doesn't matter. Points of control are important. Find the trend on the upper or the lower bounds. 2 points of control at least. Then the next point of control for me is the sort of the mean line, the average line. So it's a little bit different with the stocks predator, Otis. So good question. When we're day trading, we have the roller coaster as the anchor strategy. We have the algo as that backup, which we've got on this particular case. We don't use the VWAP predator on here. VWAP predator is for momentum. What I'm looking for really is sensible entries, usually above either support and resistance zones and or things like yesterday's close, that sort of thing. If there's a recent pivot, which you just discussed there, making sure we're above that. So it's more to understanding the entry is going to be avoiding danger and understanding that behavior. So with this center line here, we see we've got a test here, support, test here and clustering for support, and here again, resistance here, resistance here. We've just had this previous wave 4 pullback on the daily at that point. This is what you call non-linear support, okay? This is a trend channel. The center line has to have more touches than the top or the lower bound. And that's whether you're looking at swing trading or day trading. So now we're going to go back to this and we can see this confluence of this center line with our fib pullback zones, okay? This is linear and non-linear support in confluence. Really good support, okay? Again, entry, we've got roller coaster, xBrat algo, bias depth heat map. We're good. We understand the trend. We need to be above this pivot here. This pivot at this point, the high is 253,249. So we're going to be something like 25477, something like that. Okay. And our stop will be below there initially. Yeah. So that's that trade setup. That's that little bit of technical analysis that we've done on that particular stock. So my next port of call really is to get that chart looking something normal, because I'll be taking a screenshot with the journaling here. Okay, so I just want to show you my process. You don't necessarily do this when you're day trading, but when you're swing trading stocks, you definitely do. So with the journaling function here, I'm going to take a screenshot. Okay, so um, full confluence from the scan, both linear and non-linear support for wave for pullback on weekly and daily timeframes. Entry. It is a move through to 5477. Stop just below wave or low. Make risk free when approaching wave 3. Pivot. Okay. And that's done. Okay, so what I do is I'll go on to the, let me do that now actually. Let's just pull that up again, take a screenshot. That. Copy, go to here, new post, WWD, paste. Whoops. Okay, so I'll post that. That's in there. But also what I do is for those premium members, I will now add to my Paul's main watch list. Okay. Now my main watch list is shared with all the subscribers. Okay. So lots of ways to communicate there, and we're good to go. Yeah. So I've done that really quick, dead simple. Perfect. So we're just coming up to the half-hour point now. I'm going to switch over to the Confluence day trading strategy for futures and crypto, because we're in a crypto trade right now. But there's any questions on the stocks predator? Otis, that was a good sort of question earlier. It's never cut and dry with swing trading stocks. Just got to really understand. And this pivot was really my decision point to make sure I'm through that pivot, because that was a point of inflection before and it came back down. So that's what I want to move through there. So any more questions on that before we switch? Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is I've written a Confluence guide. Okay, the link is going in the chat, and the link will also be in the description of the recording on YouTube. So I just wanted to explain a little bit more and just put it down what everything means. Anchor strategy, confirmation, examples with forex, examples with futures, examples with crypto, risks, limitations, take your trade, blah, 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 blah. Then I'm writing then what we call spoke articles for it. So that's our hub. This one's just been released right now, the guide to Confluence trading strategy with cryptocurrency. I'm doing a stocks one. I'm doing a futures one. I'm doing a forex one. And we're starting to build more and more evidence around the Confluence trading strategy. So that is there. Okay. So first of all, we are in Link USD. So this is the app. It's still, this is the web app version. I've got it testing now on iOS and Android. So we've been in this for quite a while, and this is where the stop loss price is. This ML means max leverage. So when you're trading this with perpetual futures, crypto perpetual futures, your max leverage should be at 80 times. Okay. Now, we have literally put a holding page up for the app, which is launching in January 2026. If you scan this QR code, if you're watching this video, scan the QR code. The only way for you to get a month's free trial is to register on that page before we launch. When we launch, those will be the only people, and we're only having 1,000 on free trial. Once we get to 1,000, that's it. It's done. When we launch, people will be paying to subscribe to the app. It's extremely powerful, and I'm going to show you why it's extremely powerful. So scan that and get on and register for that app when we launch. Now, we're in Link right now. I'm going to bring, so the only way to visualize this for you guys and on a video is by putting it on a chart. So I want to talk about the process that goes through to give you that first. So you guys are going to be using charts, you're going to be learning, you're going to be trading, you're going to be putting these confluences together, and you're going to be trading them. But what we do is we look at Link for every single asset. We run what we call our black box AI to find the combination for Confluence. So it will look at 10,000 different combinations every week for Link, okay? And it will find the top 3. We then have our data scientists, and they've all got master's degrees in data scientists, and I've been training them for a year, and then they look at that top 3, okay? And then we decide which one is our runner and which one is our backup. Then that gets put into our database, and that's what lights up these lights and send those push notifications, and all the black magic works. But this is what it looks like on a chart, okay? So with Link at the moment, the base, the anchor strategy is actually a 28-minute Heikin-Ashi, okay? The xBrat algo is on 14-minute, 8-minute on the VWAP Predator, and then the standard 5-minute on here. This took some heat, okay? Won't apologize for it. It got the Confluence, and then we went sideways, and now it's in a massive, massive move. So what happens with this is we got a VWAP just going in. Whoops. Got a VWAP just going in. We got the xBrat algo. Sorry, the roller coaster here. We got the xBrat algo at this point, but we can't enter till we cross the start line. That's our entry at this point. Okay. If I just zoom out a little bit, we can see here this pivot formed around about the same as this pivot on that 26-minute time frame. If I just, the guys are going to hate me for this because they don't like me drawing on their charts, but I'm just going to draw on their charts anyway and just delete it. Okay, if I take this pivot here, this pivot here, this pivot here, and I go back a little bit further to this pivot here, this is an amazing point of support, okay? So the reason why the AI has decided this, because on this particular time frame, the anchor time frame, there's some strong SNR zones. Yeah. Oh, one more time. QR code. QR code. There we go. Five, four, three, two, one. Snap. Okay. Cool. So even though this got taken in and we were in a little bit of heat here, this is very, very strong, and it's happened a lot. So eventually we're in, we're good. Now, this is where, so perpetual futures for crypto are different to futures contracts for gold, for oil and all that sort of thing. So these use leverage. Now, what happens is if I measure this current move where we are right now, we can see this is a 4% move on the price of that particular instrument. Okay. So if you were to buy $1,000 worth of this particular cryptocurrency with no leverage, just buy it. Yeah. At this point, if you sold that link, you would have made $40. Yeah. Which isn't bad. We average 20 trades a month across 10 different instruments. So in reality, for $1,000 account, just by buying something and then selling it, you're making 50% in a month. It's not bad. Now, if I put 80x on there, so that's 80 times that. Okay, I'm going to bring my calculator out, okay, because it's 8:30 p.m. and my mental arithmetic is crap at this time of day, especially since I've been working since 6 p.m. So we're at 4.11%, 4.11 times 80, 328%. Okay, that's the power of perpetual futures for crypto. Yeah. So this is a big trade. And this is not the only trade that we've had. We had a Solana at the weekend on Sunday, and we had an XRP, and they were big trades. And the video's coming out for that shortly. So this is where you can really get some momentum. So, but I'm going to show you some futures trades, which is still just as profitable. So for a basic crypto trader that's not done it before and doesn't want to learn how perpetual futures, following the confluencers will get you in and around for $1,000 account, or let's just say 50% return a month, which isn't bad if you've never done this before and you are trading confluencers. Now, you can increase that a lot with leverage. Okay. Now, leverage is not available in every single country. Okay. So you've got to find the right crypto broker that has the licenses in your country. It's not that easy. For example, when I use witht, and that is available for leverage in the UK. I have proof of residence and everything in the UK, Dubai, and Spain. But when I logged into my VPN or VPS, sorry, on the US, big warning sign came up saying you need to clarify that you are not a US citizen because you can't trade with witht margin in the USA because the VPS is in New York. So you just got to be careful where and what type of accounts you trade. But this is just the power of leverage. Now, that's great for crypto, and we have some great moves there. Let me just move that back on there. So what I want to go through now is, since we launched the futures, caveat, I've been with gold training the AI for nearly 4 months now on futures. Okay. This gold was the first trade on the actual mobile app that we're testing was this week on Monday. Yeah. So this was the confluence coming in at this point. And the AI I've been doing this for a lot of years. I wrote the frigging book. Okay. So I knew how to find a groove and I knew how to train this on gold. This has not changed, this combination, since July. And I know, Richard, you've been trading this same setup here with 15, 15, 5 and 5. Okay, works very, very well on gold at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, 100%, Richard. I know you've been trading it. Been seeing your results. So we get the Confluence in on Sunday night. Okay, so this is UTC time. So everything we do as far as Confluence is concerned for me and my team, we use UTC. So it's the standard universe. It's just that time. So it's not EST. So this was Sunday night, EST. And then we moved up and the trade went out on Monday. So this move to the trailing stop was 314 ticks. So if that's one contract of gold, $3,114 or $140. For 10 contracts of gold, that's $31,000. Okay. That's one trade. Now, the thing that we're learning at the moment with futures is that the next trade that came in was around about break even. Okay. Now, that's because we got in really late. So we understand and we've done the work on the momentum indicator with forex and crypto to give us a better entry with non-whole numbers. So at the moment, we're whole numbers, and this was our last entry. So this is very important when you are trading this, is that we got these first two signals at this point. Remember, it was going up for quite a long way. That's right. So the first two came in, but we only had 3 out of 5, 3 out of 6 on the bias depth heat map. The rule is don't take the trade. The VWAP predator that came in when we had 5 out of 6, because 5 or 6 out of 6 is where we need to be, came in at this point, which got us in really, really low. So things that we can do to try, the thing that fought against us here was the bias depth heat map. Okay. Now, because we've been going up and up and up and up, and we had a long trade that was good, all of a sudden we're reversing down. That bias depth heat map is going to catch us. So one thing to do if you're trading this manually is to look at this to see that this is only just coming in. And what you want to do is measure the risk here. Okay. That's 569 ticks. Anybody with an ounce of common sense will see that that is way too much risk and you don't take the trade. Okay. We will try and mitigate these with AI to try and have a max risk element to that. But when you are trading this, and you guys trading this off charts, you literally look at that and say, even though my bias depth heat map has just given me the confirmation of the VWAP predator, my risk is 569 ticks. My maximum risk for any type of trade with this, and we look at averages here, okay, this is just an average trade, average risk here. Let's measure that. Is $237, 237 ticks. For me, 250 is the max. Yeah. Uh, so this is just more than double. So you just wouldn't take the trade. Okay. Now, NQ trade. Again, this is the second one that's come in now for this week since we've gone live. So the process is learning the confluences and teaching on one particular instrument. Gold was that instrument. Then we take that learning and do some AI work with the rest of them. We build up those confluences. Now, the thing with NQ, it's like being married to a serial killer with bipolar. There's a lot of risk involved, okay? A hell of a lot of risk. So what we need to do is so MNQ had the same, okay? Slightly different with different volumes and stuff, but pretty much the same entry, the same risk. So one thing that you need to do as a trader bear with me a second, I've just gone all funny on my thing, is look at that risk on NQ, okay? This is average risk, by the way, on NQ. It's 487 ticks, yeah? That's an even bigger risk, you wouldn't take that. You wouldn't take that, it's a massive risk. These are smaller risks, yeah? You would take those. It's about understanding when to take the trades and when not to take the trades. On an average with Confluence, you may only trade 2 or 3 times per instrument per month. But with an 85, 90% win rate, that's all you need, okay? So remember that gold trade at the beginning of the week? That was $3,400, or $3,140 per one contract, okay? I'm just going to write that down so I don't forget it again. It's getting late. Okay, now, this for some people is a lot of risk. For me, it's not, because I trade multiple contracts. So all I go is down from 10 to 2. Yeah, simple. I'm reducing the risk monetary wise. If you're only trading one contract, that's too much. So what do? You go to the micro NASDAQ and you trade 2 contracts micro NASDAQ. So we look at this risk, we measure it, say 500, run it up to 500. So one contract MNQ is around just over $500 risk, just the ballpark here. So 2 contracts, $1,000 risk. It's okay. Now, the move down was pretty good. We got in this Wednesday and we came in, and this was the trading stop position here. This was $300, 300 ticks, sorry, okay? So 300 ticks, that's $600 on MNQ. So now we're sitting at, this week, $3,740 profit by only taking 2 trades, waiting for Confluence to happen, taking the trades. Now, somebody says, well, okay, I'm in this trade. I've got my stop loss on. I've had to go to bed. Yeah. What happens while I go to bed? You're leaving your stop where it is, guys. Okay. When I was doing this full time, sometimes I just didn't go to bed. Okay. Sometimes if I needed to go to bed and this was my going to bed time, for example, the trading stop is risk-free and go to bed, come back the next morning and see what's happened. Yeah. Come back the next morning, still going strong, comes down here. And, you know, we can make decisions because we're back in front of the computer. Now, for those that are more sophisticated here, I want to show you this candle. Okay. Anybody tell me what type of candle that is? And describe the behavior from the manager. This candle here, let's highlight it. If I can find a box to do it with. I want to change that color. Let's go pink. This candle here. Don't all shout out at once. It's a doji. Thank you, Richard. It's not just a doji. It has higher than average volume with the manager. Okay. Yeah. Plus, it's colored red. So this move down was parabolic. Big red candles, higher than average volume. Then every single candle since then, 14-minute candle, has had decreased volume because we are getting less and less volume coming in on this downward movement. And you can see that support happening. Then we get higher than average volume come in with increased volume because it's red, not cyan. This is a sign it's going to turn back up, okay? That's the time when that candle closes to get out. This is the difference by using the manager. So remember, first we were at 287. Now we're at nearly 500 ticks. That makes a massive difference, okay? So instead of 300 ticks profit, we're 500 ticks profit because we understand the behavior the manager's telling us to get out. Okay. Let's have a look at gold here. In fact, no, let's have a look at a crypto. Let's go back, trying to keep it fair. Let's open up Solano from the other day. Open layout. I'm just on another screen. Just bear with me, guys. Live. SOL. I can't see the wood for the trees right now. There it is. Okay. Where's my trade? There's my trade. Okay. Slightly late in on Sunday, but it was fine. The risk was fine for this. Now, this was a trade of 700 points. Yeah, 3.46% to that point there. Let's zoom in. Let's look at this behavior. Okay, so we had a move down. We had a big parabolic move up. Then we got a doji with higher than average volume. Look at these two candles previous to that. It's running out of juice. So here, big green candle, 3 gray, lower in volume. 2 green. So those that have done my apprenticeship course or the training, I think Ross, you've done the training on the manager, we're getting slightly higher highs. Okay. This is a time it's sort of crowning and starting to think to go back down again. We get a rejection of the highs at this point here with higher than average volume. Let's measure that rejection. There's the high, there's the low. That rejection was more than 50%. Yeah, with higher than average volume. This is a sign, guys, it's going to turn around. Yeah. If you ignore this sign because that candle's gray and your criteria is it's got to be green, so it's increased volume, higher than average volume, it rejects that lows, that's fine. But when you get this doji with higher than average volume, it's green compared to the gray, you must get out. Okay. So that is the difference here. What is the difference to our trade? Okay. There's the close, 805 points. Yeah. Compared to 700 points. That's the power of the manager. So it's okay having your setup with your anchor strategy, yeah, and using the trailing stop on the anchor strategy as your trailing stop. You've got your xBrat algo, you've got your VWAP predator, you've got your bias heat map, all the confirmations, everything's good. Having the manager on your anchor time frame is extremely important. You will consistently make greater profits on your winning trades by looking at the behavior of the manager. Let's have a look at one more from the weekend, XRP. In fact, no, let's go forex. Let's go to see, where are we? Got 10 minutes left, guys. Can't be late because it'll be 9 p.m. and then I've got to drive home, which is only 5 minutes away, but still. Just want to go back to, we've been having some great trades on US dollar CHF. But I want to go back to the guys I've been marking these up. Where's one they've marked up? Okay. They should have marked some more of these up by now. Okay, there's one they've marked up. And there's another one they've marked up. Okay. So US dollar CHF is really in the groove at the moment for Confluence. Now, what I want to talk about here is again, there's low risk. We're managing this all the way down with this trailing stop. Sometimes there is no opportunities for us to see that manager helping us. Okay, so sometimes we have to get out there. So we have this big move down. Okay, we do have a rejection of around 50% there. That's not good enough. Needs to be more. We come back up on lower than average volume. We try to come back down again, and then eventually it takes us out. There's nothing we can do at that point, but that is a massive move. Okay. Now we come to the next particular trade. Are there signs that we are going to turn up? Okay. I can see one straight away. There's a doji. There is higher than average volume. That's where we get out. And to be honest, you'd have made a little bit more than that running, but not a lot. Okay. If you'd have ignored that one because you're in bed, there's another one here. Okay. And getting out that is exactly the same price as that trailing stop. Is there any more? No, that's a spinning top. Oh, look, we get two rejections with red candles here. Okay. There's the high, there's the low. That's greater than 50%. If you miss that one, you got another one here, 50%. If you missed that one, you've got a doji with a retracement of around about 50%. Okay. Oh, no, there's the high there. Okay. More than 50%. There are so many chances for you to get out of this and make more money. So Paul, are there soft rules to follow by asset class for time settings for each indicator that is optimal, meaning for scalping VWAP on 10 minutes, algo on 1 minute? Right, so you got them the wrong way round, Ross. So the soft rule is no matter what asset class, the biggest time frame that we have for Confluence is our anchor strategy on the roller coaster. Okay. We then move down to the xBrat algo, and then the VWAP predator is the smallest time frame. It has to be smaller than the xBrat algo. So the xBrat algo and the roller coaster can be the same time frame, but we need smaller time frames on the VWAP predator because that's our momentum confluence. So we've setting the stall up for this short trade here. Okay. Then we've got the xBrat algo coming in, but the final piece of the puzzle is momentum. That has to be on a smaller time frame. The bias depth heat map is always on the 5-minute day trading setting. That doesn't change. Yeah. Does that make sense? So we anchor strategy, roller coaster, always the higher time frame. The xBrat algo can be the same or lower. The VWAP predator has to be lower than the xBrat algo. What we're doing is um, we're moving down indicators in a specific order to give us that confluence, that increase in directional flow. And this is the order that we do it in. Now, if you're trading futures, for example, one thing to look at right now is, sorry, my phone's blowing up. Loads of messages coming in. So start with gold. Okay, this has been good to us over the last few months. So also high Kanashi candles are used on the roller coaster and on the xBrat algo. Normal candles used on VWAP and bias depth heat map. Okay. 15-minute high Kanashi on roller coaster gold. 15-minute high Kanashi on xBrat algo gold. 5-minute normal candle on the VWAP and 5-minute normal candle day trading settings on the bias depth heat map. It's the same for micro gold. Okay. That's your starting point to learn and observe. These trades can be quick. This trade was in 0015, 12 hours. Okay. But that's how you get the runners. So I would rather take 5 trades a month and make $10,000 than 50 scalps and literally make $1,000. Okay. That's the difference. When you're using Confluence, take the word scalping right out of your dictionary. You're looking for Confluence. You're finding the best combination of time frames on these different indicators to look to find directional flow. Directional flow is not on a scalping setting. Okay, this is just small micro movements within a larger river that flows. Yeah. So imagine a river. Your scalping is literally the bits that go between rocks and ping pongs all over the place. The directional flow is that big wide river flowing. Then all of a sudden we're getting tributaries coming in really close together, causing rapids that's actually bounding over those rocks. And that's what you've got to be looking for. So if you have to stay up a little bit to make $3,000 per trade and do 5 trades a month, then that's it, because there might not be another trade for 2 days. Okay. And that's what Confluence is. It's about quality over quantity. It takes some time to get used to, because most people that get into trading think they've got to trade every single day. You don't. Okay. You need to trade when the Confluence is there. I've got all think, oh, it's not me. It must be something to do with Zoom. Okay, brilliant. So guys, that's it. I finished today. I'm finished on time. I promised my wife I'll be back within 10 minutes of me finishing. Recording will be up tomorrow. I'm not going to do anything now. I'm going to go home. But yes, Confluence is about patience, about all the rules being met. Lots of videos. Don't forget to check out the Confluence, the guide. Put that link in again here. And the associated articles and videos in here. We're going to build that up a lot. This is the recent one that's literally gone live today. This is cryptocurrency, and it's again, reminding you of those pillars. And then there's a video that talks through the Solana trade and the XRP trade. Okay. And there are others on there as well. This is the one, training AI to use Confluence. So it's a little bit about what I do. But again, there's examples of Confluence here, when they're coming in and when to take the trades. This one even talks about this rejection on higher than average volume. This is on gold futures. Okay. Again, it shows you a closer look at that rejection of more than 50%. And then there's a video in there as well. So there's a lot of content coming, and there's a lot of videos out there. So thanks for coming here today, guys. Hopefully we'll get more. And I think I might change it to 8 a.m. EST. I won't take a poll. I'm just going to do it. So next week will be different again. So I'm just going to make a note actually to change that time. And I'll do that tomorrow, and then registrants will get those notifications. So thanks, guys. Check the recording will be up sometime tomorrow. Cheers, everybody.